The Ghost of Yotei directors have responded to accusations that the game is woke. Roll this up over at phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. So they did an interview right around the same time they announced that the game is coming out in the beginning of October. I think it's October 2nd. And they conducted this interview with Variety. And both Jason Connell and Nate Fox, who are the game's directors, were asked this. Some accused the game of being woke when Atsu was revealed as the main character. Why was a female protagonist the right choice for this story? And this is how Connell answered. Fox does not provide an answer to this question. Connell says this: we knew we had all these fans who love Tsushima. We want to carry all of those fans forward into an exciting new adventure. We're creatives. We like to make new things. We like to make exciting new pieces of art and move people in new ways. We want to make a sequel that's fresh but familiar. One has to wonder what new ways they want to move people in. And why they decided to have a female protagonist is why they needed a female protagonist to move people in those new ways that they want, right? Not beating those woke accusations at all. Nate and I are pretty enamored with making origin stories, and certainly one that we could find a way to make them feel like a bit of an underdog in this landscape. I'm not sure why you need a woman to make you feel like an underdog. There are plenty of underdog stories with men in it. You don't need a woman to be an underdog. So I'm not really buying that explanation there. Anyways, he goes on and says this is a pretty dangerous landscape, which positions her to be an excellent person for that. This is somebody that people would not expect to be so powerful, yet here she is on this romp of a vengeance quest, which is probably pretty unexpected for some people. Over time, she'll get this name of the Onryo because this Japanese folk legend is an unkillable vengeance-seeking ghost, and that's just an awesome fit. Onryo are typically stories of vengeance from females, so that seems like a really nice package for this. I'm wondering if those Onryo stories are like spirits on a quest for vengeance. I'm wondering if it's something like that. I'm not familiar with them. I'd have to look them up. It does sound like that vengeance-seeking ghost rather than an actual individual hacking people up on a quest for vengeance, right? So probably a little bit of different ways of how it seeks vengeance than I bet how they're going to depict it here in this game. Obviously, we know that they're going to be focusing on swordplay, and I think they're adding in firearms and other types of weapons that she will be using to go on this quest of vengeance. And Fox did provide some details on what that quest for vengeance looks like. And he says, our new hero, Atsu, is somebody you meet early in her life. And this is her origin story, and it's one of heartbreak. She suffers a horrible loss in her youth and then sets off on a quest for revenge. Revenge is a classic samurai cinema trope, and we love samurai cinema. I would wager that most of the samurai cinema out there is showing men engaging in these actions, not women. Anyways, he goes on and says, Atsu is going to hunt down the members of the Yōtei 6 that did her wrong and get revenge. And in the process of hunting them down and overcoming all of their forces, she defies the odds. And people start to think she's more than human. They start to think that she is an Onryo, which is a folktale ghost that is an unstoppable force for vengeance. I wonder what sex the Yōtei 6 are going to be. I wonder. I really do wonder. I wonder what that's going to be. Could it be all men? Would not be surprised. As for what they hope players will take away from the game, Connell said this: I really hope that they take away a deep sense of immersion, of getting lost in the landscape, looking out on the horizon, seeing something that's interesting and riding towards it. Fox said, I hope players feel like they really know how to use a sword. There's that moment when you play video games and it stops being the character in the screen and it becomes you. You say things like, I died. That feeling of mastery with different weapons, and when you overcome a group of enemies and you're alive, kind of splattered with digital blood. So it's really interesting because you think that most of the people that played Ghost of Tsushima are men, and now they're saying they want you to think that you are a woman in the game when you kill someone. These people are so manipulative. Clear agenda here. Clear agenda. It's the samurai cinema fantasy come true under your own control. And I hope people feel like that was them in that moment, succeeding, winning against all odds. Well, if that's the case, why didn't you have it be a player-created character? Why are you making it a woman, right? If that's actually what you want people to take away, which I don't think it is, because you made the character a female character. So there's probably something else going on with what you want to take away there. And not only was the game accused of being woke, but it was discovered that the actress that Sucker Punch cast to play Atsu, Erika Ishii, is a massive woke activist and seemingly true believer in the false ideology. I mean, this game is chock full of massive red flags that this game is going to be ultra woke. And it's not just the fact that they have a female main protagonist. It's the person they cast to play this. Again, Erika Ishii, massive woke activist. Her bio says she uses all pronouns, making it clear that she's a proponent of the evil gender ideology. She's promoted organizations that encourage Black people to butcher themselves. This organization called For the Girls. She wrote this back on X in June 2024, saying, non-Black folks looking to observe Juneteenth, Black nonprofits often receive aid in boomer bus cycles. This year, consider making a monthly pledge, whether you donate, volunteer, or commit to learning. Please join me in my quest to be intentional and sustainable. I'm supporting For the Girls, a Black trans collective that helps pay for rent and gender-affirming surgery in the Black LGBTQ community. So you can see there, she's literally supporting mutilation of Black people there. Just sick stuff. She also promoted the organization in 2023, writing, today, please consider supporting For the Girls, a Black trans-led nonprofit. Our Black trans siblings are especially vulnerable now, and I donated in honor of Juneteenth and Pride, but please join me in pledging to do our best to support Black justice year-round. She supported the boycott of Hogwarts Legacy in February 2023. She says, I used to love Harry Potter, went to every midnight release, cosplayed, was even in a Harry Potter-themed improv group. Now I'm happy to instead support and be part of fantasy narratives where all are welcome. Trans community, we deserve our own better magic. I will always fight for that. She followed that up saying muting, but wanted to reiterate trans rights are human rights. I ask that instead of replying to negative comments, to turn that effort towards positive action, donation, sharing, supporting trans creators and trans joy. There's no such thing. Or checking in with your trans friends and their happiness. There can't be trans joy because transgenderism doesn't exist. You're male or female, you cannot switch between the other. And there is also it is just male and female. There's nothing else aside from that. She then included a video of her stating F TERFs as well. She's also claims that police are white supremacists. She wrote this in 2021. We will not let these terrorists shake our resolve. 2020 showed us that we will rise up and make our voices heard. Despite voter suppression, facing down a white supremacist police force, risking health and safety, we hit the polls and streets to say no more. They can't stop us. Historically, the answer to an attempted coup is to never acknowledge its legitimacy. We will not ignore this. We will treat these terrorist thugs like the unlawful mob they are and hold accountable those responsible for this. So she's a complete unhinged lunatic, and they chose to cast her in this game. They're paying her money so she can spout all of this stuff. And you know she's going to be spouting this stuff off as we get closer to this game's release, and she's doing press for it because she's someone who can't do that. She can't help herself, right? We also know that they employ Thomas Hart. He is their community manager, and he is a Sweet Baby Inc. defender. He revealed he joined the company back in April 2024. And just a month before joining Sucker Punch, he was defending Sweet Baby Inc., saying this whole Sweet Baby controversy is mind-numbingly dumb. Most people have no idea how games are made or what a consultant does. Many don't even care to listen when someone tries to explain it to them. They would much rather have an other to demonize, clearly creating a false narrative there, because we know that Sweet Baby Inc. was clearly trying to inject woke ideology. They told us this from the very beginning. Kim Belair is on record saying that she was not about injecting a veneer of wokeness into video games. She wanted to inject wokeness, and she talked about terrorizing developers to not only hire people like her, but to also push woke ideology into games and threaten them with cancel culture mobs, social media mobs, which were all over social media back in 2019 and destroyed people's livelihoods, and in many cases pushed a lot of people to off themselves. It's just absolutely evil, sick stuff. And we know that they also employ people who literally said they wanted to burn the industry to the ground. Cameron Wild. So this guy clearly lying here to try to protect the woke ideology. The company also employs Dragon Age the Veilguard writers Courtney Woods and John Dombrow. Wood shared on X she joined Sucker Punch in September 2022 as a senior staff writer. Don Brow revealed he joined the company on LinkedIn, saying, "I've had a terrific time working at BioWare on Dragon Age and Mass Effect all these years. Now it's time for a new adventure, and I couldn't be more excited to announce I've joined the awesome team at Sucker Punch." And he made it very clear he was working on Ghost of Yotei, saying, "I'm excited to finally show off the game I've been working on at Sucker Punch. The follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, so many talented colleagues are pouring their hearts into this one." So despite what Connell here is saying and kind of dancing around whether or not the game is woke, which I think in itself is an answer, right? He can't actually deny it. He doesn't deny the accusations at all. I think it's pretty clear this game is going to be pretty woke, and all these red flags are pointing to that. So I'm not buying what he's trying to sell here. And in fact, the fact that he doesn't actually deny it or even attempt to address the accusations for the most part, I think shows that it is a tacit admission that the game is indeed woke. And the fact that they made a female protagonist, I think, is enough, right? The fact that we're going to do a revenge story with a female samurai, like, come on. Clearly trying to push that feminist agenda there. And I also think they're clearly trying to push the gender ideology stuff too, to confuse people on what men and women can and can't do. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always speak the truth.